NetJets Family Foundation has been around about 7 years. It started with a collaborative effort between NetJets and NJASAP, our pilot crew union. We have done an immense amount of work with a very small amount of people really leading the effort. And we have touched many of our own team over those years.
The Family Foundation was birthed inside the pilot pool about 7 years ago. A few pilots had an idea to come together and formulate this foundation. So they approached Santulli with the idea, and Santulli loved it. He said he would match dollar for dollar what they put in for seed money, but he said only one condition: open it up to the whole company. And so they did. They filed the paperwork with the IRS, and we established a nonprofit public organization under the name NetJets Family Foundation 7 years ago. The NJASAP put $500,000 of seed money in, and NetJets put in $500,000, and we started off with $1 million of seed money.
You know, it's not uncommon for us to hear things that happen to people's lives day in and day out, and it's hard to know what to do about it, quite honestly. The downside is you want to help every single person, and the more that you become involved and learn about people's situations, you want to help. The NetJets Family Foundation is that way. It's that vehicle to help.
I've been with the NetJets Family Foundation board for about a year now, and I've been impressed with the dedication of the board members to assisting NetJets families in need. You know, life is full of uncertainties. These uncertainties include financial hardship and disasters, and no matter how hard we plan for these uncertainties, they still happen. NetJets Family Foundation is about NetJets persons helping NetJets persons in need.
We help people, so everybody's proud of that. Employees of NetJets proper, NetJets Europe, and EJM are eligible for a grant.
My name is John Adair. I'm a recalled pilot. I was furloughed from NetJets in 2010. Within a year of that, my daughter was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. She had a tumor in her chest wrapped around her aorta. When she was diagnosed, they told us that she would need chemo treatment and extra radiation due to the fact that they were not able to operate in that area. However, we did find a surgeon up in New York City that was willing and also had a great track record of that specific type of surgery. It was at that time that I called the NetJets Family Foundation to inquire about miracle flights because I had heard of that program before. And that's when I was told that I can apply for a grant, even though I was furloughed at the time. And it really helped us to keep up with our bills and keep our house, really, is what happened. The treatments lasted over a span of about 3 years. The first year was pretty much living in the hospital every night, over 250 nights in the hospital. After the surgery, she spent 9 days in ICU. She was supposed to spend like 2 days there, but she spent 9 days because her lung wouldn't inflate. And they finally got the problem resolved. And on our way back to Oklahoma City, we took an airline at that point because she was off of chemo. And I was able to stop in Cleveland to attend my brother's wedding. And Molly outdanced everybody at that wedding. And this was 3 or 4 days after she was in ICU for 9 days. Right now, Molly is in remission. She's always smiling, always happy. Anytime there's any kind of an issue, I just think of what she went through at the age of 2 and the horrific things that I had to witness during the treatment. And I just tell myself, if she can make it through that, then I can make it through anything.
We've had multiple employees with children in cancer treatment and long-term medical care that we've also given grant money away to. We've had multiple families who have experienced the death of a loved one. We've funded funerals. Families where the sole provider is on a medical leave of absence. Luckily, we have medical leave of absence which provides 60% pay, but if you're the sole provider for a family of 5 and you're paycheck to paycheck, you're in trouble 2 weeks after your last paycheck. So we have subsidized multiple of those types of situations.
We've helped people from their houses have been flooded, children or spouses that have been sick, a lot of medical assistance, people that have been out of work that we've been able to help with their families to ease some of their financial burdens. What it means to me is to be able to reach out and really touch the lives in a positive way for our team.
6-year-old Gabe was diagnosed with leukemia. I didn't know before I heard his story that the treatment for little boys for leukemia is 3 years of chemotherapy. During that cancer treatment, many of them lose the ability to grasp objects. They get very, very weak. They can no longer sit or stand for long periods of time, and they lose their ability to walk. So it wasn't until 2 years into his cancer treatment that Gabe was able to take his first steps. Since he was not able to sit for long periods of time, the family was able to get him a wheelchair, but they couldn't take him anywhere. So they needed wheelchair access for the van, and they also needed to retrofit their home for wheelchair access to make it easier for him to get around. So we awarded him a grant to assist with that effort. We had a flight attendant who just took her 3rd leave of absence from NetJets to fight skin cancer, which she got during radiation treatment, which she got from her first 2 bouts with brain cancer. And when you're fighting and using all of your emotional resources for something like cancer treatment, you want to stay as positive as possible. And having the strain of financial difficulty on your back during a time when you should be focusing on getting better and staying better, it just makes everything worse. So to be able to provide a grant for her to relieve that financial pressure is tremendous, because we might actually have contributed to her ability to stay cancer-free.
To me, cancer is one of those things, especially with a child, that you would tell yourself, it'll never happen to me, and then all of a sudden it happens. And it happens at the worst time sometimes. I was out of work, I was unemployed for 6 months, couldn't find a job anywhere. I finally did find a job, and then 6 months later, she was diagnosed. And it hit us pretty hard, but we never expected that.
What really surprised me when I took this role was the overwhelming number of applications that we approve.
Since 2008, when we awarded our first grant to a NetJets Family in Need, the foundation has given over $440,000 in grants to over 100 NetJets families in need.
Our application process is completely anonymous, so nobody at NetJets knows who the identity of the applicants. I have to ask for their permission to even tell their stories anonymously, but I know who they are. And it's a tremendously fulfilling line of work to be so close to people in need. I have made grown men cry in grocery stores when I've told them that their grant was awarded. NetJets Family Foundation is a public nonprofit charity. So anyone on the face of the planet can make a donation to the foundation. However, we grow our fund mostly through automatic payroll deductions of employees at NetJets and EJM.
Well, I would certainly like to thank the donors to the NetJets Family Foundation from the bottom of my heart. An average payroll deduction per paycheck is only $12. Could you imagine if every employee that we have in our 5,000 or 6,000 total worldwide that are able to participate, if they gave $12 a paycheck, what that would amount to? And that is the only funding that the organization has.
Beginning donations to the foundation is really simple. It starts on our website, www.netjetsfamily.org. There's a button that says donate. Click on it, fill out the form. It's simple. In the future, I would like to see the NetJets Family Foundation be the first place that people go to in their minds when they're listening to their colleague talk about something difficult that they're going through, something unexpected that just came up, and they're in some sort of need or crisis. I would like the NetJets Family Foundation to be the first thing that comes to people's minds when they're listening to these stories, and then refer them back to us.